Profe, me voy a salir de acá y me voy a meter por el celular.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Isidora.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
Very good. And you?
Very good. That's very good news. Fernanda is going to re-enter, okay? Isidora, remember that during the presentation, you must turn on your camera.
What?
During the presentation, you must you must turn on your camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I must see your face.
Yeah.
That is what Fernanda is trying to do now. Let's wait for her. Fernanda, okay. Mm. Hi, Winnie. Isidora Fernanda, do you need much longer?
Ahora sí me conecté del teléfono.
Sorry?
Ahora me conecté del teléfono.
Okay.
Ya. Y no sé si me...
Oh, yes. Yes, I can see you. Do you know how to do it? So that I can see your face, and I can see the presentation itself. Yeah, okay, yes, I can see you very well. Do you want to start?
Okay.
Okay. You can start then.
Estoy buscando el... Ahí está. No sé si se ve.
Yes, but I can see your face. I can see your picture only.
¿Y sí?
Yes, yes. Okay. Oh, you have a bad cold. Okay, tell me to take the time. You may start.
Good morning, Miss. Good morning, classmates. Today I will talk about environmental architecture. First, what is environmental architecture? Well, the idea of this architecture is to integrate what is built, like homes or service places, with what is natural, like ecosystem in general. Focus on the negative environmental impact in life of buildings. The idea of architecture is born thanks to the serious situation of the planet, like climate change, the reduction of natural resources like water and others, and the high pollution in the air and environmental deterioration um, by materials and other points. Environmental architecture considers all the process uh, like thinking, in which ideas are better, managing, projecting how it will work, uh, sorry, making and maintaining on the buildings in the time.
Sorry,
And
Fernanda, is it possible for you to enlarge the present the slide, the presentation, because it's very small? Can you or no?
le escucho cortado.
Can you please enlarge the slide because it's very small? Ah, yeah, but there is not in the, it's cut. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, go on.
Mm, ya. Entonces, aquí, ya, maintaining, ¿le hago zoom?
Yeah?
Sí.
Yes?
Maintaining the buildings on the time and undoing the architecture if necessary. Okay. This architecture is integrated in all the moments of the work in which it considers uh, all the general and particular impacts and some of the positive aspects that it has are the reduction of energy consumption, decrease the emission of harmful gases, and benefits the profitability of the buildings. Uh, because this opts for the renewable energy and is more positive for the health. All of this is important to create a building according to the ecosystem and being a little more friendly with the environment. And one of the things that we can do uh, start with the change the mindset when building, um, create buildings according to the ecosystem, build without destroying. So this point means that this point talk about um, to recycle a part of the space, not destroying it all. Um, understand resources as heritage and something that we have to protect, rehabilitate a abandoned space by adding vegetation to make it more friendly. Y eso,
That's
this.
it? Okay. Thank you, Fernanda.
Mhm. Let me-
Um, let's see, talking about this environmental architecture, you mentioned different aspects. Oh, you have a very bad cold, Fernanda.
It's in all the house.
Ah, okay. Well, the thing is that I wanted to ask you, I mean, you talked about change the mindset when building. What do you mean? I mean, what kind of changes do you have to make in order to implement environmental or to develop environmental architecture?
One of the most important points was my recycle, and do activities more friendly with the environment.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, but at the moment that, I mean, I understood that that was one of the things that architects should keep in mind when before starting with the building or not?
um, um, and one of the things that this architecture um, things is to use a renewable energy
Yeah.
in the construction, and um, bien recycle materials
Mhm.
and spaces, um, para que no sea tan invasivo. No sé cómo decir eso.
Okay. Okay, Fernanda, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, who is next? Isidora?
Sí.
Okay, I will ask you the same as Fernanda. Could you please turn on your camera when presenting, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deme un segundito. Voy a buscar la presentación. ¿Se ve, cierto?
Yes, very well. Hi, Isidora. It's good
Hi.
to know your faces. It's very good.
Ready?
Ready?
¿Empieza nomás?
Yes, please.
Yes. Good morning, teacher and classmate. My name is Isidora Duarte. I am a second year student of architecture in the Universidad de Chile in the Faculty of Architecture and Urbanism. Today, I am going to talk about Gothic architecture. This is a very relevant topic for me because this type of architecture completely changed the way to build and design buildings in their peak period. My presentation has three parts. In the first part, I am going to explain in a general way what is Gothic architecture and his historic context. In the second part, I am going to talk about the main characteristics. And finally, third part is it about the most recognized building of this style. Okay. The Gothic art is a style that born in Europe during the Middle Age, more specifically on the 12th century in France, and it remained until the 16th century. This style had manifestations in various areas of art like painting and sculpture. Gothic architecture is one of these, and I will focus on this during this presentation. This style it evolved from Romanesque architecture and was succeeded by Italian Renaissance architecture. Although in the beginnings, this style was considered a urban style of a lesser category than the Romanesque. Today is considered one of best moments, the best moment of architecture in the history. Among the main characteristics of this architectural style are the great height of the buildings and the giant windows decorated with stained glass. These had the function of maximizing the space inside the buildings and providing natural line and giving a visual likeness compared to the crude of Romanesque architecture. Also, the exterior ornaments was very present in this type of architecture, such as gargoyles and other types of sculptures. These new models of construction and design completely different from the buildings before the 12th century were possible because were possible thanks to the introduction of other type of structural elements, uh, such as those seen in the image. The most recognizable of these are the rivet bowling and the pointing arc, and all elements work together like a system. Gothic architecture was manifested mainly religious architecture because in the Middle Age, the Catholicism and the Church were symbols of power. So that today most of the most recognized buildings belong to church and cathedrals. Currently, many of these buildings are kept in good condition and have become tourist places. Some of these recognized are Milan Cathedral, Charles Cathedral, Notre Dame, Basilica of Saint Denis in France, Stephen Cathedral, and Seville Cathedral. And that is all. I hope you learned something new today. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Isidora. I have some questions. You know, one of my favorite, if I can say so, one of my favorite style is Gothic style. And there was something that I mean, when you talked about the main characteristics of this style, you talked about the use of stained windows, stained glass or windows, I don't know,
Yeah.
and the use of arcs also. Yes? And very high, very tall buildings, actually.
Yeah.
Is the, I mean, oh, Milan, yes. Are these characteristics, I mean, what is the connection between these characteristics and the fact that the style was developed during the Middle Ages? Do you understand my question?
No, can you repeat me, please?
What is the connection between these characteristics, particularly the first one? Well, actually, all of them, but the first one is the most clear. Sorry. That characteristic. What is the connection between those characteristics and Middle Ages? That was the period when this style was developed. Is there any connection?
Well, before this style, the constructors are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can see here,
Yeah.
the Romanesques are more como macizo, no sé decirlo en inglés.
Okay, go on. Yeah.
Uh,
But here in these pictures, you have three different styles, and the Gothic one is the highest,
yes,
and I don't know, you can say slim, but they are sort of narrower and very tall, different from Renaissance and Romanesque. No?
yes.
That was one my question. What is the connection between this style and Middle Ages? No? Okay, that's all.
No.
Okay, Isidora, thank you.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
see.
you.
Winnie? Winnie Pereira?
Here.
Yes. Okay. Can you please go on?
Okay. Um, Wait a minute.
Yes, please. No problem.
Mm, mm, mm. ¿Se ve?
Yes. I was
Yeah.
Shield. Oh, very good. I love him.
Eh,
Wait a minute.
My camera.
Yes. I am very curious about your faces. Okay,
I,
Winnie. Very good. So let me write the name of the presentation.
okay.
Life of, sorry, what do you study, Winnie? Architecture?
Design.
Design. Okay. Let me see the timer. Okay, you can start, Isidora. Sorry,
Okay.
Winnie.
Good morning, Miss and classmates. Today I want to talk about the life and work of Egon Schiele. So, who is Egon Schiele? Was a 20th century Austrian artist and was one of the great figures of expressionist movement in Vienna. He was born on June 12th in a small town in Austria, and he was raised by a Borges family made of his father, his mother, and two sisters. About academic studies, he always showed the great artist talent since he was a child. So later, he entered the Academy of Fine Arts to study drawing and design in 1906. But he had never agreed with the teacher's teaching, so he escaped and to form his own group with other classmates. This group called Nekunstruppe. The pronunciation is very bad, but the traduction is New Art Group. In order to demand independence from the traditional canons in painting. And so first artistic period in 1907 he was influenced by Ferdinand Hüttler and Gustav Klimt. Klimt introduced him to the Vienna secession where he adopted his creative principles, highlighting the drawing of his painting with the thick lines, especially in the representation the naked bodies. But Sheila soon approached expressionist groups, led Alfred Kubin and Kokoschka, developing an independent style, very personal in a distorted ways. About the theme of his works, he always showed sensuality and erotic obsession in his works, along with a anguished loneliness. Sheila used a cutting insensitive line to express the reality and to show the dramatic, physical, and moral destruction of the human. He showed the tragic existential dimension of man, in continuous conflict between the life and the death, in my opinion. This man was in a prison. Although he drew all kinds of bodies, he drew children in pose that were strange to other eyes. And later he was accused of corruption of minors in 1912. The sentence was 3 weeks in a prison and the burning of the one of his porn drawings. So finally, his death. After Schuller married Edith Harms in 1915. So later in 1918, First World War happened in Vienna, and the epidemic of the Spanish influenza happened too. So both Sheila and Edith Harms died because of the flu. So Sheila died in 31 October in 1980. So this is my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Winnie. A lot of new information about, well, I didn't know much about Shield. Wait a minute. Let's see. If I understood you well, the main topics of his works were related to the human body and the human body in all the senses. I mean, in different aspects, sensual and also the deterioration of human body. Yes, did I get you right?
The last I don't understand. The sensuality I understand.
Sensuality on the one hand, but also the deterioration of human beings. That is what I got. I mean, all the. I understood that he was. I mean, his works were centered on the human body in all different stages of life. Sensuality on the one hand, but also the deterioration of. Did I understand you well?
Duration?
Deterioration. No?
No, I don't say that.
Sorry, I misunderstood you then. Okay, no, sorry, I misunderstood you. Why did you choose this topic, Winnie?
I don't know. I mean, I searched a lot times, so finally found this artist. I know about him in a few years after. And I want to tell him. I like his works and this.
And what is the connection between this artist and his works and design, the career you study?
Because the art have a strong relation with design. I mean, in my last semester, in my first year, I see the works of Gustav Klimt.
Okay.
In history. So to also see Egon Schiele. So I think that he has a relation with design.
Okay, Winnie, thank you very much. Okay, so now we have Cristian Mora.
Hi. se ve? O sea, can you see?
Yes, yes. Let me write the name of the.
Sí.
Cristian Mora. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Cristian, whenever you want.
Okay. Good morning, teacher. Welcome to my presentation. My name is Cristian Mora Severino. The topic of my presentation today is sustainable architecture. And the reason this topic is useful to you is for the care of the planet and the people. The world has been thoroughly damaged by climate change. For this, we must consider how to change the space where we live, and that is exist change at the whole of make architecture without damaging the planet. For example, using clean energy, and the buildings damage the environment by 20 to 50%. And for this, we need to reduce this problem. And this is the reason why there are architects who helps with this problem, this damage. And for example, for reference, I will name two architects. The first architect is Victor Olgay, was a Hungarian architect and urban planner and pioneer of the bioclimatism, who considers the environment, and the bioclimatism is the maximum comfort inside the buildings with a minimum energy expenditure. The second architect is Eleanor Agnes Raymond, was an architect who designed and built the first house with a solar energy. And that is the purpose is to help the environment through sustainable architecture, and contributed to the community with less pollution. And we know that the environment matters. And also exist initiatives to help the environment. The initiative confront specific problems, NGO problems, or high impact progress. For example, the Make It Right, that American actor Brad Pitt, who takes our real houses in a poor neighborhood in New Orleans with a sustainable model. And that is exist people concerned with the pollution, and not only architecture, but through architecture. In conclusion, in my presentation, my objective was raise awareness about the evolution and how to change the space where we live, and not increase the pollution, the problem, through architecture. Thank you for listening. This is my presentation. And do you have questions?
Yeah, I do. Although your presentation is about how to respect nature, in other words, how to work in order to protect nature, no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But
Yes.
how probable, how likely is it to put it into practice in a poor country like Chile, for example?
What? Can you repeat?
How probable, how applicable can this concept be in countries like Chile, that is a poor country? Do you understand?
Yes, and the pollution in Chile is so big,
So,
and
sorry, so
probably so extreme,
Mhm.
the pollution, and the probable is minimum, but I I try in the reparar, ¿cómo se dice? And this problem
Mhm.
with this sustainable architecture.
Yeah. Do you have, I mean, when you graduate as architects, do you have an area where you can specialize on that, or is it something that has not been developed yet?
What? Can you repeat?
Yeah,
Sorry.
the question is, I mean, after you graduate as an architect
Okay.
in Chile,
Okay.
do you have the possibility of specializing in this type of architecture, or is it something?
Yes, architecture have the specialization, and I want the specialization in this university.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like this. I like this.
You like it? Okay, thank you, Christian.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. Okay. Okay. What time is it? Oh, we're almost finishing. Before we finish today, I would like to, well, I will have to calculate the marks, so you will have them later today. Yeah. Can we, I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. Something that I would like to talk about today, I mean, to organize today. Let me see looking at your program, there is one of the evaluations, one of the quizzes that should have been done already. That is a web quest. I don't know if you have had a look at this. On week 8, that means, I don't know, about 3 weeks ago, we should have had the second evaluation, that is web quest 1. This is an evaluation that is very easy. I mean, the idea is for you to do some internet research, looking for information and completing a table with some information taken from the websites I will give you. So in this evaluation, nobody should get under a 6 because it's. So I would like to know what happens with what are the agreements you have made with the strike and evaluations? Can you tell me about it? Because I don't know when to reschedule the evaluations. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you, did you understand what I said?
So, yes.
Yes. A ver, parece que hablar en castellano va a ser más fácil. A ver, tenemos 2 evaluaciones, una que está hecha hace como 2 o 3 semanas, que es la que estaba explicando recién, que es un web quest online. Es súper fácil. Nadie se podría sacar menos de un 6 si lo hace bien. Si lo hace como siguiendo las instrucciones, no tendría por qué sacarse menos de un 6. Y después nos queda un listening activity, que ese sí es un quiz de comprensión auditiva. Quiero saber, porque no entiendo absolutamente nada de esta cosa de los paros que se revalidan todas las semanas. No cacho si se pueden hacer pruebas, no se pueden hacer, ¿cómo es la cosa?